Hi, thanks for having me on. I saw your show and I needed to respond to a misconception that you were indulging in and that a lot of people indulge in, and that it makes me very upset when I hear it, that Mantaur was some kind of a jobber or a jobber to the stars or some kind of other wrestler that wasn't the best wrestler in the league at the time, and whoever has been in the league. That's wrong. It's simply a misconception that he was not a top-of-the-line wrestler. And everybody at the time recognized that. Jim Cornette picked him up and managed him, and he wouldn't have done that if he hadn't been good. Jim Ross said that he was a powerful, powerful human being. Jerry the King Lawler loved Mantaur. He said that. Shawn Michaels said that he thought that Mantaur was very talented. And Vince McMahon himself said the same thing, and said that he thought that Mantaur was going to be great. So it doesn't make sense that you would say that he was some kind of jobber to the stars. Besides that, he won practically all of his matches. He beat Buck Quartermain. He destroyed Leroy Howard. He just pummeled Walter Snow. Decimated Gary Scott, and the list just goes on. And he would have beaten Razor Ramon, except for the fact that Jeff Jarrett and the Roadie came out and interfered on Ramon's behalf, and that cost Mantaur the match. We all remember that. And, nobody can say what would have happened if Mantaur had won that match, or if they hadn't interfered, because, it could have set him on a whole different path. We don't know. And quite frankly, I think we all also know that Mantaur would have won the 1995 Royal Rumble match, except for the fact that Lex Luger cheated and eliminated him, and it was really ridiculous. And so for you to go around saying the things that you said about Mantaur, it's really out of line, and it just drives me so crazy, and it makes me so mad that I could explode, because I hear it all the time, and I'm so sick of it. So, we all know that Mantaur was great. He would have been the champion. He would have been the longest reigning champion. Bruno Sammartino would have had nothing on Mantaur except for the fact that all of that happened. And there's only one explanation for how it happened. That there was a massive company-wide conspiracy against Mantaur that was spearheaded by Lex Luger, who, being the narcissist that he was, I'm tongue-tied, I'm so angry, that he went around, because he knew that he couldn't stack up to the competition that Mantaur was bringing to the table, so he went to Vince McMahon behind the scenes, and he complained, and he wouldn't stop complaining, and he threatened to quit unless Vince McMahon released Mantaur. And frankly, we all know McMahon loved Luger, but we also know that Luger never shut up, because he was a jerk, and he was depressed, and he couldn't sleep at night. I mean, that must have been what was happening, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Because I know that Mantaur was great, and I saw it with my own eyes. I think we all saw it. So, Luger knew he couldn't beat Mantaur in a fair fight, and that's why he did that. And everybody got on board the conspiracy because they knew that if Mantaur was there, he was going to be the champion, and he was going to remain the champion. And then the rest of them were never going to get paid. So they engaged in a little bit of collusion, and they pushed him out of the league. And quite frankly, that must have been what happened. There's no other explanation for it. So when I hear you say that he was a jobber to the stars, I just have to set the record straight. When you're talking about jobbers, you're talking about a Kofi Kingston, or you're talking about The Big Show, but you're not talking about Mantaur. I mean, he invented the world's strongest slam. He did that first. Before Mark Henry ever came around, Mantaur was doing that, and he was putting his enemies away. Easily, he was defeating opponents with that move. He made it look easy. And he was also the strongest man in the world before Mark Henry came around. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he still was. So everyone in the company knew that if Mantaur was there, that their careers were basically over. So they had to band together and engage in what I consider to be the greatest screw job in wrestling history, and what I also consider to be the greatest conspiracy in wrestling history. And I think that anybody who fairly examined the situation would come to the same conclusion. And so I was upset that you had not come to that conclusion. So I just wanted to, get on here, set the record straight, and let you know that what you're saying is dead wrong, and that there are millions of us out there that don't appreciate it, okay? And we're sick and tired of hearing it, because I see Mantaur listed on lists of the worst gimmicks or on lists of bad wrestlers, and quite frankly, nothing could have been further from the truth, and everybody recognized that at the time, okay? So anyway, that's basically it. In conclusion, Mantaur ruled, Luger cheated. Anyone who says otherwise has clearly been paid off by the Luger industrial complex. Also, I'd like to say that I support John Cena. Rise above hate. You can't see me. It's clobbering time. And that's it. So thanks for having me, and have a good day.